It was a dream that I never thought would happen. It was never meant to last forever. We knew there was a finite amount of time that we'd be able to do this, and we told the story we wanted to tell, and I'll always be thankful for that.
You know, I keep telling everybody they should move on and grow. Some do. But not us.
If I move on, who does this?
Maybe it doesn't need to be done.
Hello everybody. A lot of Marvel news has come out recently, like a lot, between the new Phase 4 stuff and all the Spider-Man stuff, and I'm trying to make videos about all of it, but here we go, my first first of two videos I'm going to be making soon. They're coming out daily. Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. It's been confirmed at this point, no matter how you twist it, roll it, throw the dice, he's out. He's out for good. Except for maybe one thing, but I'll talk about that in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Sorry. But, yeah, he's out of the MCU. He's no longer going to be in any movies, and it sucks. It really does suck that we're not going to get to experience him anymore, because he was set to be, like, the next main character of it all. And I feel like with the MCU, you need main characters. So, yeah, it sucks that we're no longer going to get to see Spider-Man anymore. But this video is to somewhat give you hope that it's not about the company that runs the movies, it's about who makes the movies. Movies are made by people. I don't think people realize that. It's like, when you say DreamWorks is a bad company, no. DreamWorks isn't a bad movie making company, they just don't hire the right people. And so, like, with the MCU, they've hired really good people for these movies, and that just so happens they've done that. They're really smart with who they hire. They hire the smaller people, like Taika Waititi or whatever. So, going forward with Spider-Man, he's going to be appearing in... We need an official name for this, and I think it should be the Sonyverse. I think that's what we need to call it. I would say Spider-Verse and the Spider-Verse characters, but no. Sonyverse. Not Venomverse, not Spider-Verse, Sonyverse. That's what I'm going to call it. So in the Sonyverse, we start with Venom, and we're going to get the Vampire Guy movie with Jared Leto. I'm kind of scared for that one. That seems like it's going to suck. We're going to get more. And that's the Carnage movie, stuff like that. And that's where Spider-Man's going to go. And honestly, Spider-Man's an amazing character, but there's kind of three pillars in the Marvel comics. You have, like, the main Marvel characters, like Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, all those characters. Then you have, like, the kind of X-Men universe. They kind of have their own thing going on. And then you have the Spider-Man universe. And he crosses over with both all the time. And he's kind of in his own world most of the time in the comics. And, you know, later on down the line, we could have another deal where the Sonyverse, the multiverse is going to be introduced pretty soon into the into the MCU. And with that happening, and with basically the multiverse has already been, like, done in the Sonyverse, because technically Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse could be a part of the Sonyverse, depending on if they want to do it or not. So they kind of alluded to that at the Venom post-credit scene, just saying. So there could be another deal struck in between Disney and Sony 5 years from now. It could be 2 years from now, we don't know, but where they cross over again, and this could be a big event. I'd much rather that than just having Spider-Man in the universe alone. And they could still do a sequel to Spider-Man Far From Home and call it Spider-Man Home Alone or something like that. They just can't have any of the Marvel characters, which you can still do that. Spider-Man has kind of disconnected himself in Far From Home already. So you could still have Spider-Man 3, and then the MCU fans could technically be happy and call that a technically but not really MCU movie. Since you could say it took place in the same universe. You could still do that. You could do that. And I'm excited for what Spider-Man holds. Venom was a fine enough movie, but I feel like it was restricted, which is the fact that they wanted to do a crossover with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, so they made it PG-13. But Disney wasn't about that. But I feel like if it was rated R and just went all the way and had a Spider-Man in a rated R film, that would be amazing. It sucks that I'm probably never going to get to see Deadpool and Spider-Man cross over, but who cares? I'd much rather a big MCU, Sonyverse. That would be the biggest crossover of all time. Two companies coming together to make one movie. Probably a two-part movie. So I made this video to give y'all hope. I keep bumping the mic, I'm sorry. That Spider-Man isn't dead. Spider-Man is just a new beginning. Tom Holland's still going to be playing Spider-Man. Everybody has spoken that this is their favorite Spider-Man. And I hope that Sony knows that Tobey Maguire was only their favorite because of nostalgia. Like, come on, guys. Tom Holland is just everybody's favorite. They're not going to let go of Tom Holland. He has at least 2 more movies left. That's Spider-Man 3. That's at least Spider-Man 3 and Venom 2. The future of Spider-Man is great. And hey, if you watch my next video, you may find out why he could still be in the MCU. What? Video over. Watch that video.